All right. Well, I have questions I can ask if you
Please.
want.
Would you like to ask
Yeah.
a question?
Because I like to ask questions about creativity.
Go.
This boy is. Oh, it's the Q&A section. Welcome.
Yeah,
Reverse
welcome to
Q&A.
the Q&A.
Q&A, do we
I'm
have
gonna
a
pause
button
for
for it?
half a second so you can insert a little like audio clip.
Is that the Q&A
Nice audio
opener?
clip.
Wait, do it again. Ready? Q&A session.
Oh my god.
Sick. That was awesome. I don't have headphones on, so I didn't hear it. But I'm sure it was awesome. I'm sure it was great.
Don't worry. Then.
Yeah, when you hear it in the pod.
It's gonna be so cool.
All right.
You'll be gleaming.
I believe you. I believe you. I mean, maybe.
Wah.
So, all right. Questions about creativity then, hey?
Sure.
Yeah.
All
Please.
right.
I'm keen.
I mean, the first one, just to sort of get the brains, just
Tingling?
massage the temples up there.
Please, I'm brain dead at the moment.
Do you think you can overexpose yourself to creative media? And do you think that stunts your own creativity? Like, if you consume so much content that, like, you don't have any original ideas anymore?
Yes.
You can second guess.
I think you can. I think you need time to kind of think about what you've done, like listened to or watched or whatever,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
really like
Time for reflection.
yeah. Because if you're just constantly like finding new things, and you're gonna just have constant ideas, and you're actually never gonna develop them. But if you have time to reflect, then I think. So yes,
How do you balance that in your day-to-day life then? How do you make sure that you don't overexpose to content or things like that, you know?
Or do you not?
Or do you because I mean, personally, I would speak from my own experiences that I consume too much, and I do get a lot of inspiration from it, but then I don't transform that into actually creating myself.
Right.
Whereas it would be better to sort of consume, reflect, and then use that as motivation and drive.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I actually don't listen to that much new music.
Right.
Really, like I don't really search for new stuff. I kind of wait and just wait for like my friends to show me new stuff.
Yeah, it's so
Like-
much easier for people who just have good taste to just send you the real good
I don't-
tracks, and you just chuck them on a playlist. You
No,
know?
I don't think I have good taste. I just wait.
Yeah.
I'm just lazy as hell.
I'm just saying every good song that I like has been sent to me by a close friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think you can consume too much though. Like I think it gets to a point when I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think it's just like consuming too much of one thing. It's like your diet. Like with food, you want to have a balanced diet. If you eat too much of one thing, you know, it's all out of sync. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
So you just kind of get like absorbed into this, you know, like creatively, just this one like state of mind of just, you know, this is good. This is, you know, where I draw my inspiration from. But even if it's something you don't like, I think explore, look at other things, and you'll get ideas. Because otherwise
agree
you'll
with
just be
that,
stuck
for
in like
sure.
a rut of
I
just
agree.
the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
I love seeing things that, or like, you know, experiencing content that's not like my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because then that pushes me into the creative space. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you mean by that? Not comfort zone?
Like just things that I would classically like. So if we're talking music, like it would be listening to a new genre or something like that. I'm
Right.
not a massive fan of like the hardcore EDM sort of stuff, but recently, you know, some people have sent me cool tracks, and that actually gets me inspired to make things. Even if it's not that genre of electronic music, those genres can inspire me by like I'll listen to part of it and be like, that's an amazing lead. I wanted to go do some sound design now or
Yeah.
something like that, you know?
Definitely.
I think right is if you consume too much content as you're making something, you might question the piece you're making at the moment. You firstly you were like, this was an amazing piece. You went out, you compared it to too many pieces, right?
Yeah.
And now you're second guessing it, even though it's a great piece.
Yeah.
It can definitely create self-doubt. Yeah.
What do you think, Cam?
Well, going off what Joel was saying, I actually think it's very easy to intimidate yourself. Like, I think Skrillex kind of put sound design on a pedestal for me, and it always had to be like at that level, or I just wasn't happy with it. Where I almost feel like if I didn't have that, I mean that's what got me into it. But I almost feel like if I had like more of a nuanced background in it, I would just be like, because the philosophy that I have now is less I want to make that sound and more like what do my tools have, like what can they do.
Yeah. So
it's
you're working from the inside
bottom
out.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot healthier, because then you're not trying to. You're trying to then craft your own little thing.
Yeah,
instead of,
I hate recreating sounds now. Now I'm all about just like, what can the synth do? What techniques do I have?
Well, I've always thought like I've wanted for a while to just not listen to any music for like a month or
Who
so
does
and
that?
just see what comes out of that.
Tame Impala.
Does he?
He can't listen to music while he makes it.
Yeah.
And then one day he was like, because he like so fixates on the sound of his drums and stuff like that. He was like walking down the street and he heard a snare, like just from like the rumble coming from a pub, like and then as he walked like up the street, he eventually like he was like, oh, that's a really great snare, and he walks up and eventually he realizes, oh, it's my song.
Yeah.
But
Wouldn't that
yeah,
be
he
a fun
doesn't. He
moment?
can't listen to external music while he makes it.
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting. Because a lot of my music, like all my songs have stemmed from like another song.
Well, that
Pretty
leads to
much.
my like another question that I wanted to sort of just like discussion topic, I guess. But I have a book that's called Steal Like an Artist. But is all creativity stolen?
I actually think that the technique that I was talking about has got me to steal less, because it's more like you're bouncing ideas off with the synth.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's like you twist a knob and then you're like, oh, I haven't heard that before. And you take it in your own direction. Yeah.
Yeah.
it depends. It depends how you frame stolen, right? Because
Yeah.
a lot of ideas might be, kryptonesiaed out of you, where you.
Let's explain it.
Kryptonite is
Yeah.
when you forget you stole something.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
It
a
was
great
an island in the
word.
Pacific.
You have to look
Kryptonesia.
up how to spell it, because otherwise I don't remember words. But
I don't know how to use it in a sentence, but yeah.
That's
Digital
cool.
island in the Pacific.
Right. So,
You can buy it.
Indonesia.
Snoop Dogg.
like sometimes.
next to Snoop Dogg's island.
What? What the fuck you guys talking about?
Snoop Dogg.
He owns some land in Kryptonesia.
Indonesia.
That's actually really good.
I flubbed it a little bit, but we got there.
We got there. Yeah. Okay, so it's like your brain consumes some content, right? You forget you've ever listened to it, and then your subconscious will feed it back to you as original idea.
Right.
And then you're sitting there and going, "Oh, that's an amazing idea. I'll use that."
I think Zomboid did that with Terror Squad.
I honestly think personally that almost all
He
art
did.
is like that.
He claimed it, didn't he?
He literally,
He was like,
Skrillex
"Whoops."
came in, showed him his new song, and then like
Yeah.
later on, Zomboid made the exact same song and then released it, and then was like, "Oh, whoops!"
It's so similar too. Like
It's
it
literally
sounds-
the same.
Yeah.
God.
It's literally the same, the same drop at least.
Yeah. It's pretty
Right.
funny.
Yeah, and then did he blame it on Kryptonesia?
Yeah. He was just like, "Oh, I think he just showed me that song earlier, and I forgot that he was his."
Do you ever
song."
get that like feeling when you've created something? There's like this fear, like, oh, that feels familiar. Like, have I
Yeah.
stolen this?
Yeah.
That's when Zomboid invented rhythm. Skrillex invented dubstep with Scary Monsters, and Zomboid invented rhythm when he stole from Skrillex.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No, mate. About stolen content. It's like, is this stolen, or it better be? You know.
Yeah, well, that's the point of the book that I have. It's kind of like saying you have to just steal in the right way. You build off other people's ideas.
Yeah, I don't-
You make other people's things your own things, and you build off that shell.
Yeah. I don't think it's
that's healthy.
steal. I don't think it's stealing. I think it's more just like inspiration.
Yeah, I guess stealing is
like-
like an aggressive word.
Yeah.
for it, you know.
Because it's like, oh, I really love this song. How can I make this my own? But even it might not even be that. You might be starting to write something, and then you're like, oh, this actually sounds a lot like, or like this element from this song would sound really good in my song, so I'll just use it.
How do you feel about sampling?
Fuck it, go for it, man.
It depends how much
it's creative
you use.
and fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
I think samples are there for a reason. They're there to be used.
What was that streaming service called?
Audius.
Audius. Does Audius allow for sampling?
It's much more like SoundCloud when it comes to that sort of stuff. So I think it's
Yeah.
pretty chill. I do think though, there's a lot of like remixing on it, but I think it's all like from permission from people. So you'll release a track on Audius, and then you can sort of like tick a box when you release that says like allow downloads of the stems or like allow remixing and stuff like
That's
that.
cool.
Yeah.
So you can like upload the stems to Audius as well, so people can have them.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. So they're pretty chill when it comes to that stuff.
To be honest, I think copyright laws are a little bit too anal.
Yeah, I think
Well,
I'd agree with you.
I think like if you're using someone else's song, you should give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, but I think if you give them credit, they shouldn't be able to like pinch from you.
Well, it depends
Yeah,
if it's like
yeah.
their content that you've taken.
Yeah, I think
It
it
just depends on how
all
like
depends.
strictly you're taking their stuff or
Yeah.
how much you've made it your own.
I'm giving everyone in the world a green light to sample everything I've done.
Oof.
Thank
Taken,
you, Cameron. That's
taken.
amazing. All right, I'm gonna
I'll be
remix your
doing
tracks.
that.
Literally sample anything, I don't care.
Sick.
I'm a socialist when it comes to intellectual property.
I love socialists.
Wow.
In terms of like sampling, right?
Creative Commons.
Yeah.
Everything's Creative Commons.
Beautiful.
If you've made a song purely on samples, I think that's a bit different. Because
What do you,
I
do you
feel
mean
like
out of sample packs or
well, it's almost like you've made a collage
because
of a song.
a lot of Kanye's is like that.
Yeah.
Where like
Yeah.
I'm talking about the entire song is just samples.
Yeah.
808s and Heartbreaks just all an
Yeah.
808 machine.
Have you heard part 2 of
Oh,
Life of Pablo? It's literally another song, and he's just put it
Okay.
on his album.
yeah,
Right.
It's just Panda,
yeah. It's just Panda. It's I mean,
But
it's
I would consider that
fantastic,
someone
It's
else's
great,
song.
yeah.
but it's just Panda.
huh?
I would consider that someone else's song, but
Sampled
But it's
Otis.
Kanye.
Yeah, I mean,
Otis
obviously Kanye's not going to do that without asking.
Yeah. Well, he's signed designer.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to use that song.
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, no, I get what you mean though. I think if you're just like,
Oh, it's like
if you're just like pulling together a song, that's
yeah.
a bit different. I think you need to kind of put your own.
The one point behind that is if you're using samples to give the image that you're making music better than you can.
Right. But you could almost call sampling its own form of art,
Yeah.
I reckon. Like
It's about using it in the right ways.
yeah. And you can be pretty transformative with it as well. Like hip hop, sampling is so heavily ingrained in hip hop culture. Like pretty much all of like how it started out was like sampling drums, sampling like little breaks, which I think's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, there's like the time when whenever Virtual Right like drops a new pack or something, and then
Yeah.
you kind of listen to like
All the
all the
songs that come
like
out.
little dubstep people, and then
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, Virtual Right. Oh, there's a Virtual Right rail.
Yeah, you can probably name the kick that's being
Yeah.
used and stuff. You know, just look through the pack, like Kashmir's like stuff. As
But
Yeah.
then there's also people like Disney. You'd expect Disney to be like completely grassroots, but they use Virtual Riot samples in The Mandalorian
Yeah,
and like Sophie samples
That's crazy. Yeah.
from Splice.
but that's pretty cool. I
Dude.
think. I think that's kind of
You know who
Incredible.
wrote the music for The Mandalorian?
yeah, Ludwig.
Do you know
Virtual Riot. Was it-
Redbone by
Yeah.
Childish Gambino?
Yeah.
He produced that.
Yeah,
Ludwig Göransson.
and Black Panther.
And he made all the music for the Black Panther, which is so sick. He's awesome.
He's a dumb, and he did
He's-
made This Is America.
Yeah, of course he makes This
He's
Is
a
America as well.
dumb, talented person.
He's so
He's one of
good.
those people who's just like good at literally everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Silly good.
Silly good.
Silly good. There's a great video on YouTube of breaking down Redbone.
Oh, that
And-
video is so good.
It's pretty.
we
it's pretty
actually
amazing.
studied it in class.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes you think that you can sit down and go make it.
Bro, you
Yeah.
get so inspired. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go make a Redbone. You
Yeah,
sit
I'm gonna go
down
make Redbone
and you
right
sit there
now.
for like an hour, and you're like, holy crap, this is so shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, all he did was just do that with the bass, and he went up to the keyboard and did that.
Yeah. And
It's
he's
that
like,
easy.
He's like, oh, I'll just put some.
And
like,
then
this
what I
piano
can't believe about Redbone is that Donald Glover sung that in on that pitch. Like that's just his voice. They haven't pitched that
Yeah.
around, which is crazy.
Did he live? Did he sing it that loud?
What?
I don't think he sung it that high live.
No, I think
No.
he did. That's what I was saying.
No.
I could be wrong.
When we
Oh, do
saw
you mean
when
like
we
for
saw
performance?
when we saw him live, I don't think he sang.
I don't think he's sang that high.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Probably takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
so
it,
hard.
it was the last song too, so it would
Oh,
have.
you can't just do like
Yeah.
falsetto like that. It would be so.
when you just hear that.
You're out of space.
Oh, no, it's happening.
Oh,
Hold up,
Joel.
hold up. We're good. We're good.